So in today's video, I wanted to highlight the importance of technology and how a lot of fintechs are actually changing the overall lending space, particularly when it comes to business lending, right? And so in today's video, I'm actually going to go through over 20 different, or just share this list of about 20 different banks that are using a fintech loan origination platform called Numerated, right? I want you guys to pay attention to how a lot of these fintech service providers are changing the game, right? And the reason why I wanted to share this, I actually came across this about a year ago or so when I applied for a line of credit with Wesbanco, right? And so Wesbanco has this flex line of credit, right, where you can apply. This is a credit score based approval, limited docs. As a matter of fact, they didn't even require that I upload any docs when I went through this process. And so right here, it says powered by Numerated, right? And so Numerated is a digital lending platform. Now, basically what they do a lot of the due diligence, or at least gather a lot of the information that banks use to underwrite and conduct due diligence on different loan applications and stuff like that. So again, Numerated is a digital loan origination system for business banking that dramatically reduces work for financial institutions and their clients by using data, right? So pretty much what this means is that on the back end, they have different APIs. So if you don't know what an API, it's basically application programming interface, where they're basically able to get information, let's say from the Secretary of State, from the credit reporting agencies. They use a lot of other databases to collect information. And so this makes it easier for banks, credit unions to be able to underwrite and approve or deny loans at a much quicker clip, right? So they're able to do it much faster because they're bringing all the information from these different sources. So I just wanted to highlight the importance of a lot of these different platforms. So Numerated is one that a lot of, banks are starting to use. Another one is called Foundation, right? So I did a video on this before. So you have banks like Citizens Bank, Fifth Third, Associated Bank, Bank of the West, Bank United, as well as a host of others. Now, these are pretty much similar companies, I would say. Even you can consider them competitors, Foundation and Numerated. Pretty much they're just making the overall underwriting process a lot easier. And this is why a lot of these banks are also able to offer these streamlined underwriting, where you can get a decision within one business day or sometimes the same day. So I did put together a list of different banks that actually use the Numerated platform, right? And so the reason why I put this together is because let's say you're able to go through the process of one of these banks where they're using Numerated. They're going to do the same due diligence checks. They're going to be gathering the same information on behalf of all of these different banks. So let's say you go to Wesbanco and you're able to get approved, your data checks out, and let's say you go to a different bank, I don't know, let's say you go to People's United Bank, right? It's going to be the same process of collecting your information. So if you know that your information is valid, it checks out. So again, they're going to be doing things such as SSA verification, Secretary of State verification, pulling your personal and business credit reports. They're able to probably check if you have any state or federal tax liens. So again, they're doing a lot of these due diligence checks. So this is one way that you could take advantage if you're able to, get approved with at least one of these banks. Then that's a good sign that you could probably go to other banks. Now, again, they might have different underwriting, but again, they're doing a lot of the similar due diligence checks. So if you could pass through the enumerated system, then likely, you're going to be able to have all the valid data to qualify for some of these other financial institutions, right? Zactus, this is another sort of similar verification service, but this is going to be more for mortgage industry, right? So if you're applying for a mortgage, you might see Zactus on your credit report. Another thing I wanted to point out too, I know we talked about Plaid for a while, which does read access to banking information, right? Now you have a fintech called Pinwheel, which aggregates payroll information, right? So you can get real-time insight into pay information, right? And so a lot of banks, a lot of lenders are using Pinwheel's APIs to be able to pull in payroll information in almost real time, right? Or at least your most recent pay information. Now, again, the reason why I'm just highlighting all of these different companies is because they play a critical part in the lending space, right? And so that's why I'm always emphasizing, you want to have your data on point, right? You want to have your paperwork. You want all your information to be able to check out, because again, a lot of these companies now are utilizing these third-party fintech service providers to be able to verify a lot of your information, right? There's another company called TaxGuard, which I know a handful of different credit unions actually use this, right? So this is the standard in federal tax due diligence for commercial lenders, right? So if you're applying for business lines of credit, business loans, some lenders might use this service to check to see if you have unpaid federal tax debt or tax liens that are filed. And again, I'm sharing all this to say that you want to be mindful of these different third-party fintech service providers, because again, they're the ones who are enabling these banks to make quicker decisions because they're able to pull this information in much quicker. So instead of the banks doing all their verification themselves, they've sort of outsourced it to companies like TaxGuard, companies like Pinwheel, companies like Numerated, as well as Foundation. So again, in 2023, 2024, these companies are going to play a critical role in the overall business lending landscape. So if you're looking to get, commercial lines of credit at some of the top regional banks or, top tier 1 banks, just be mindful of these different third-party companies. Now, again, I put together a list that use the Numerated system, right? And so Numerated offers, streamlined applications. So let's just take Dollar Bank, for example, right? So they're going to be able to enable these banks to have, let's say, a streamlined line of credit, right? So they have what's called a business express loan, right? So this is a way for you to get up to $200,000 quickly, right? And again, the reason why, you can check this video out, but the reason why is because they're pulling in all this information and the banks are able to make a quick decision, right? And this is very important because, a lot of business owners, they need access to capital quickly, right? And so having to wait weeks or in some cases months in order to get a decision, can have ramifications on your business. So as you can see right here, all right, powered by Numerated, right? So this is the same, if you pay attention, this is the same application process as Wesbanco. And as I told you, I was able to get a $50,000 line of credit with Wesbanco. They have access to so much information that they could pretty much verify and cross-reference any information that you put on the application, right? So, a lot of times when, let's say, the information, there's discrepancies, that could be a result of, you getting denied, right? Because they have all this information on the back end in terms of, your standing with the Secretary of State, any information about you as a beneficial owner, tax records, income verification, right? So there's a lot of due diligence on the back end, which allows these banks to give you a quick decision. Now, it doesn't mean that you're slipping through the cracks, putting anything on the application, because again, they are cross-referencing with a lot of different sources on the back end. But I think this is a game changer because if your information does check out, you can really leverage some of these platforms to stack up your business lines of credit in your business financing. Because again, Numerated is going to use the same data sources, whether it's Wesbanco, whether it's Dime Bank, whether it's Seacoast Bank. They're going to be using the same data sources to ingest all of the information in. Then they give that information over to the financial institution, which can then make a lending decision based off of their underwriting standards. Now, another important data point when it comes to who these institutions are pulling from, right? I'll post a link for a video on the Patreon, which goes over a demo. And this is from the staff at Numerated, who's basically just doing a demo walkthrough of the loan origination system. A couple of the integrations that they mentioned that they have when it comes to credit is going to be with Experian. So Experian Personal as well as Experian Business. Now, I can actually confirm based off firsthand data points from my approval with Wesbanco, they did pull Experian. Agility Bank also will pull from Experian. So it's safe to say that because Experian is their integration partner, that they're going to be pulling Experian for all of these different financial institutions that use Numerated for their loan origination process or their loan origination system. And so that's a very important data point. They also use LexisNexis as well. That's one of the other integrations. And so I'll actually post that video on the Patreon. So if anyone is interested in taking a deeper dive into Numerated, you're more than welcome to do so. But another important thing, if you do go over that demo that they mentioned, is that they will flag certain profiles that have 7 or more credit inquiries on Experian. So they do set a threshold in terms of what they consider too many inquiries on the credit report. Either they're credit seeking or that could just be a proxy for fraudulent activity. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. But again, let me know your comments and questions right down below. And until next time, take it easy and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.